In this heartfelt video, we honor legendary wrestlers who have, celebrating their incredible contributions to wrestling. Their passion, talent, and dedication left an everlasting impact on fans and the sport itself. We also discuss emotional news about Omos, beloved icon, whose recent developments have deeply touched fans worldwide. Join us as we reflect on their legacies, share cherished memories, and celebrate their remarkable lives. Subscribe to keep their inspiring stories alive and never forgotten. Misty Blue Simmons, born Diane Cotton. Simmons, on February 8, 1956, was a trailblazing American professional wrestler who played a vital role in elevating women's wrestling during the 1980s. Trained by the legendary Killer Kowalski, she entered the wrestling world in 1985 and quickly rose to prominence thanks to her dynamic in-ring style and magnetic presence. Simmons became a familiar name in various wrestling promotions and was especially known for her work in the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, where she held the NWA United States Women's Championship. Although she made occasional appearances in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, her greatest impact was felt in the independent circuit, where she helped keep women's wrestling alive and exciting during a time when opportunities were limited. Renowned for her athleticism, fiery performances, and connection with fans, Misty Blue was more than just a performer. She was a pioneer. She became a symbol of resilience and empowerment, at a time when women's wrestling was often overshadowed by the men's divisions. Her presence and passion contributed to the slow but steady growth of women's professional wrestling. Off the mat, Simmons was a staunch advocate for female athletes, inspiring many young women to step into the ring and pursue their wrestling dreams. Her influence helped shape the path for future generations of women in the sport. Misty Blue Simmons. Her was mourned by fans and peers alike, with many remembering her not just for her accomplishments, but for her heart and spirit. Today, her legacy lives on in the evolution of women's wrestling and the growing respect the division commands, a journey she helped pave with determination and passion. Shad Gaspar, born January 13, 1981 in Brooklyn, New York, was a professional wrestler, actor, writer, and real-life hero. Best known for his time in WWE, Gaspar rose to fame as one half of the tag team Crime Time, alongside JTG. With charisma, strength, and streetwise charm, the duo became fan favorites in the mid-2000s, known for their humor and dynamic presence. Gaspar's imposing build and engaging personality made him a standout in the ring. Before wrestling, Shad excelled in combat sports like boxing and MMA. He joined WWE in the early 2000s after training in developmental territories and later found success in tag team action. After leaving WWE, he continued wrestling independently while also pursuing acting. Gaspar appeared in several films and TV shows, including Think Like a Man 2, Get Hard, and Brothers, and he co-authored the graphic novel Assassin and Son, showcasing his creativity beyond the ring. However, it was Shad Gaspar's final act of courage that defined his legacy. On May 17, 2020, while swimming at Venice Beach with his 10-year-old son, the two were caught in a strong riptide. In a selfless act, Gaspar instructed lifeguards to save his son first. He was pulled under by the current and his body was discovered days later, and the world mourned a true hero. Shad Gaspar's story is not only one of success in entertainment, but of profound bravery and love. His legacy lives on through his family, fans, and the many lives he inspired. He is remembered as a larger-than-life performer and, above all, a devoted father whose sacrifice touched hearts around the world. Rick Drasin, born on July 12, 1944, was a remarkable American athlete who left a lasting impact on both professional wrestling and bodybuilding. Beginning his journey in the world of fitness, Drasin quickly gained recognition as a top-tier bodybuilder, earning titles such as Mr. California. His chiseled physique, combined with a larger-than-life presence, made him a standout in the fitness world and opened the door to new opportunities. Drasin transitioned into professional wrestling in the 1970s, where he brought his physical prowess and showmanship to the ring. He performed in several major promotions, including the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA. Known for his high-energy matches and charismatic personality, Drasin used his bodybuilding roots to develop a unique in-ring style that blended power with spectacle. Beyond the ring, Drasin became a respected figure in the fitness industry. He dedicated himself to educating others on strength training, nutrition, and healthy living. As a fitness model and personal trainer, he influenced countless individuals looking to improve their health and physique. Drasin also shared his wisdom through writing, interviews, and instructional videos, always promoting a disciplined and balanced approach to fitness. Rick Drasin was more than just a wrestler or bodybuilder. He was a bridge between two worlds that rarely intersected so seamlessly. His influence extended far beyond the spotlight, reaching into gyms, homes, and hearts across the globe. But his legacy lives on through the athletes he inspired and the fans who admired his dedication, charisma, and innovation. Drasin's life story serves as a powerful reminder of what can be achieved through passion, resilience, and a commitment to excellence. Jorge Gonzalez, famously known as Giant Gonzalez, was born on January 31st, 1966, in Paraná, Argentina. Towering at an astonishing 8 feet tall, Gonzalez left a lasting impression on the world of professional wrestling with his extraordinary size and presence. Before entering the ring, Gonzalez was a standout basketball player in Argentina, where his height made him a natural athlete. His basketball career eventually led him to the United States, but health issues and knee injuries derailed his chances in the NBA, prompting a transition to professional wrestling in the late 1980s. Gonzalez first made waves in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, under the name El Gigante, portraying a gentle but powerful giant. He later joined the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, in 1993, where he gained international fame. His most memorable moment came at the 1993 Royal Rumble, debuting in dramatic fashion and setting the stage for a high-profile feud with The Undertaker. Their clash at WrestleMania 9 remains one of the most talked-about matches, not for technical prowess, but for the sheer spectacle of Gonzalez's presence. Despite his larger-than-life image, Gonzalez's wrestling career was relatively short, with recurring health issues limiting his activity. Sadly, his health deteriorated further after retirement as he battled diabetes and severe heart problems. Gonzalez leaving behind a legacy marked by awe and admiration. Though his time in the spotlight was brief, Giant Gonzalez is remembered fondly by fans for his unique role in wrestling history. As one of the tallest competitors to ever step foot in a wrestling ring, his image remains iconic, a symbol of how physical stature alone can turn someone into a wrestling legend. Mae Young, born Mary Lillian Ellison on March 12, 1923, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling whose career spanned more than 7 decades. Known for her toughness, passion, and trailblazing spirit, Young began wrestling in the 1930s, an era when opportunities for women in the sport were scarce. Despite the odds, she carved out a place for herself and helped redefine what women could achieve in the wrestling world. Young's in-ring career was filled with historic achievements. She held numerous titles, including the NWA World Women's Championship and the Women's Tag Team Championship, and gained a reputation for her fearless style and showmanship. Whether facing off in grueling matches or taking bumps well into her later years, May was never one to back down from a challenge. Her influence extended far beyond her own matches. Young served as a mentor to generations of female wrestlers, offering guidance and encouragement during times when women's wrestling struggled for recognition. Her resilience and unrelenting spirit made her a role model both in and out of the ring. In 2008, WWE honored her with a Hall of Fame induction, celebrating her contributions to the sport and her role in shaping women's wrestling. Even in her 70s and 80s, Young continued to make appearances, always embracing the spotlight with humor and grit. Mae Young, but her legacy remains a cornerstone of wrestling history. She opened doors for countless women in the industry, and her life serves as a powerful reminder of perseverance, passion, and pioneering spirit. Mae Young didn't just witness wrestling history, she made it. Curt Hennig, famously known as Mr. Perfect, was a legendary American professional wrestler celebrated for his in-ring brilliance, charisma, and unmatched athleticism. Born on March 28, 1958 in Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Hennig came from a storied wrestling family. His father, Larry the Axe Hennig, and grandfather, Paul the Butcher Hennig, were both well-known wrestlers, setting the stage for Curt's own rise in the business. Hennig began his wrestling career in the late 1970s, initially making waves on the independent circuit before gaining national attention in the American Wrestling Association, AWA. His biggest moment came in 1987 when he won the AWA World Heavyweight Championship, solidifying himself as a top-tier talent. With a flawless wrestling style and magnetic presence, he adopted the moniker Mr. Perfect, a persona that highlighted his seemingly effortless mastery of every sport and challenge. In 1988, Curt joined the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where his Mr. Perfect character became iconic. Fans loved his over-the-top vignettes, which portrayed him as perfect at everything, from basketball to bowling. His technical prowess made him a standout star, and he captured the Intercontinental Championship twice. Hennig had unforgettable feuds with major names like Bret Hart, Randy Savage, and The Ultimate Warrior. After leaving the WWF in the mid-90s, Hennig competed in WCW, where he joined the infamous NWO and continued to make an impact. Sadly, Curt Hennig's life was cut short when due to acute drug intoxication. His influence on professional wrestling remains profound. Posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007, Curt Mr. Perfect Hennig is remembered as one of the greatest technicians and characters the sport has ever known. Randy Macho Man Savage, born Randall Mario Poffo on November 15, 1952, in Columbus, Ohio, was one of the most iconic and electrifying figures in professional wrestling. With his trademark raspy voice, colorful attire, and unforgettable catchphrase, "Oh yeah," Savage became a defining personality of wrestling's golden era in the 1980s and 1990s. Starting his wrestling career in the late 1970s, Savage rose to fame in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, where his unmatched charisma and intensity captivated fans. He became a two-time WWF World Heavyweight Champion and forged legendary rivalries with the likes of Hulk Hogan and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. His WrestleMania 3 match against Steamboat is still hailed as one of the greatest bouts in wrestling history for its storytelling and athleticism. Savage's success continued in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where he remained a major draw throughout the 1990s. Beyond his in-ring achievements, he was known for his fiery promos, extravagant robes, and dramatic storylines that blurred the lines between reality and entertainment. Tragically, after suffering a heart attack while driving, which led to a car accident, he shocked the wrestling world, prompting an outpouring of tributes from fans and fellow wrestlers alike. Savage's influence is still felt today. His larger-than-life persona and commitment to performance helped bring professional wrestling into mainstream pop culture. From his iconic voice to his unforgettable presence, Randy Savage remains a legend whose legacy continues to inspire generations of performers. He wasn't just a superstar, he was a symbol of passion, intensity, and excellence in the squared circle. Tolulope Omos Jimo entered the world on May 16, 1994, in the vibrant coastal city of Lagos, Nigeria. From earliest memory, his stature was striking, the kind of imposing presence you couldn't miss. Even as a child, it was clear that Tolulope was destined to tower over peers. But towering height alone wasn't destiny. It was a gift he would harness. Raised in a country passionate about sports, Tolulope immersed himself in athletics from a young age. Athletics legends echo through Nigeria's streets, from boxing phenoms like Dick Tiger to football stars like J.J. Okocha. The spirit of perseverance and ambition permeated his upbringing. Yet it was basketball, in a nation where the sport still grows, where his natural physique made an early impact. Tolulope showed promise on neighborhood courts. His height gave him a clear edge, but his skill and coordination, beckoning nimble fingers, precise footwork, surprising agility, elevated him beyond mere physical advantages. Coaches began to take notice. This was no ordinary tall teenager. Behind the height was potential, brilliance in motion. As adolescence transformed him into a colossus, he began to dream bigger, sensing a broader horizon awaited beyond his Lagos home. 2. A Journey to America, Chasing Dreams. Across oceans, by his mid-teens, Tolulope's parents recognized their son's extraordinary growth, not only in stature, but in ambition. A loud-hearted decision surfaced. The United States, with its premier basketball pathways, beckoned. With discipline, focus, and sacrifices aplenty, Tolulope secured a scholarship to flourish on U.S. soil. Landing on American turf as a high school exchange student, he faced a cultural kaleidoscope. The basketball courts were larger, more fiercely competitive, and layered with expectations. Yet Tolulope rose, pushing his game into new realms. Height turned to leverage, skill refined, instincts sharpened. His collegiate journey led him to the University of South Florida. While not a blue-chip program, it offered him a valuable stage to develop under seasoned coaches and against quality competition. He thrived in training, polished shot mechanics, and sharpened court awareness. The physical gifts that had powered his entire life, height, reach, coordination, met a rising technical prowess. Success wasn't assured but was earned, brick by brick. Yet, despite the promise of hoops, Tolulope's athletic heart felt another call. 1-3. Discovering a new battlefield, the leap to wrestling. As college games wore on, whispers grew louder. Tolulope felt a quiet magnetism toward professional wrestling. It wasn't an abandonment of basketball, but an evolution of his competitive spirit. The physicality, the drama, the moments of sheer spectacle called to him. Basketball shaped his athleticism, but the squared circle offered a broader platform. Larger-than-life storytelling, carefully choreographed clashes, and the chance to meld athleticism with on-camera charisma. The decision wasn't taken lightly. Wrestling demands more than height. It demands technique. Takedowns, grapples, strikes, theatrical psychology, and adaptability. Yet for Tolulope, the bigger battlefield punched its own promise. The 4. Building the Foundation, WWE Performance Center. A leap of faith, Tolulope left college basketball and enrolled in WWE's Performance Center. It was a transformation zone. Gymnasiums became dojos, workouts turned into in-ring drills. His prior conditioning served as a springboard, yet wrestling's demands were novel. Under the guidance of trainers, he tackled fundamentals, mastering high-impact moves, learning to work cameras, timing entrances, and rehearsing sequences. His reflexes developed further, but now in harmony with ring mechanics. Perhaps most crucially, he learned how to control his size, to move confidently, to make his weight feel like dominance, not clumsiness. The transition was intense, but exhilarating. Tololope realized his potential not only as a competitor, but as a character. A ring name arrived, Omos, derived from Nigerian roots. In West African Igbo, Omos translates roughly to child of the soil, a nod to roots, humility, and grandeur. It encapsulated his journey, Lagos-born yet universal in appeal. 5. Debut and evolution, the start of the WWE career. In 2020, Omos appeared on WWE television, not as an active wrestler, but as the silent, towering bodyguard for AJ Styles, one of the company's most celebrated performers. Overnight, his presence commanded attention. A living skyscraper flanking Styles in promos and ringside. The partnership was brilliant narrative. Styles, known as the Phenomenal One, contrasted starkly with Omos's monolithic silence. Omos played a dual instrumental role, protector and silent enforcer. He didn't yet fight, but he spoke volumes with every moment on screen. The spotlight sharpened and fans eagerly awaited. When would the big man strike? 6. WrestleMania. Moment. Entering the ring, the day arrived at WrestleMania 37 in 2021, wrestling's ultimate showcase. Omos stepped into the ring with AJ Styles to challenge the New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The atmosphere, electric. The anticipation, palpable. In a showstopper of a match, Omos executed with surprising agility despite his unbelievable 7'3" frame. He showcased power clotheslines, athletic dives, and chemistry with Styles. The moment they captured the tagging gold, Omos's shift from power display to active superstar was complete. The roar of the crowd was deafening. A new star had arrived. 7. Health challenges on and off the screen. Behind the bright lights, Omos was wrestling not only opponents, but his own biology. Diagnosed with acromegaly and gigantism, he had wrestled with the toll of excess growth hormone for years. These aren't cosmetic matters. They brought real peril. Pituitary tumors threatened his vision, growth plates grew oddly, and facial features changed unnaturally. He experienced severe pain, carpal tunnel, sleep apnea, elevated blood pressure, even early-stage diabetes. He underwent 2 brain surgeries to remove the tumors, life-saving interventions that preserved vision and began to control hormone production. The procedures were risky and life-altering, but essential. Post-operative hormone therapy and ongoing checkups became a regular part of his life. Yet, throughout the challenges, Omos persisted. He refused to let his conditions define his destiny. WWE's medical team monitored him carefully, adapting performance styles, limiting risky maneuvers, offering essential therapy. 8. Mastering the role, becoming WWE's modern colossus. With each week on Raw, his confidence deepened. What began as silent presence bloomed into character development. Promos emerged, not always speaking, but effective with eyes, posture, and body language. Omos became more than size. He became an identity. In-ring work sharpened too. He expanded his moveset beyond power slams to include drop kicks, underhook lifts, even acrobatic counters. His opponents, both mid-card crowds and top-tier talents, had to contend with raw force and unexpected agility. The world began to respect the giant in new ways. Rating boards noted his ring IQ, commentators praised his intelligence, and fans began to chant his name. 9th SummerSlam, 2023, Giant vs. Giant. By SummerSlam 2023, one of WWE's marquee pay-per-views, Omos faced Braun Strowman, another mountain among men. The match was billed as a clash of titans. Even in defeat, Omos's performance resonated. He absorbed the beats, delivered jaw-dropping counters, and matched Strowman's power strike for strike. Though he couldn't fully overcome, he earned universal respect. He had moved from newcomer to major player status. Post-match praise flooded sports media, social platforms lit up with GIFs and threads, and Omos earned a permanent place in the upper mid-card landscape. 10. Life in the spotlight. Balancing health and career. The WWE grind is taxing. Long tours, travel stress, physical demands. For Omos, it's compounded by health management, with regular therapy sessions, hormone treatments, specialists' visits, and scheduled rest. He lives a life of balance. WWE's wellness policies facilitated this, offering guidance, rehabilitation, and modifying bouts to minimize risk. Omos drills in ring psychology, how to safely take bumps, distribute weight, and strategically tailor matches to his body's endurance. Off-screen, he's maintained a thoughtful lifestyle, pursuing fitness regimens to strengthen joints, limiting time in high-impact spots, and consulting medical teams before every storyline. 11. Wrestling's role model, inspirational overtones. Omos's story resonates far beyond the ring. In Nigeria, health stigma is real, especially around hormonal neoplasms and pituitary tumors. By fighting publicly, Tololope brings awareness, shining a light on medical challenges less acknowledged in African discourse. Fans from across Africa and the global Black diaspora see in him both a physical titan and an inspirator, someone who converted bodily tribulation into spectacle and purpose. He's acknowledged the platform's impact. His interviews gently remind audiences, big or small, your challenges can be reframed to fuel greatness. He's over time become an advocate for medical checkups and destigmatizing health battles. 12. Skin in the game, charity and community impact. With prominence comes responsibility, and Omos has embraced it. Reports from WWE backstage and social-first coverage highlight how he returns received giant gift baskets to Lagos youth charities, funds student equipment, and speaks to hospitals about managing rare conditions. Through WWE's charitable wing, he's met Nigerian fans fighting illnesses and pledged support to medical outreach. Despite his global role, he remains rooted to home, ending each year by quietly funding summer camps and supporting sports in Lagos's neighborhoods. The 13. What lies ahead? A future as big as the ring. No retirement whisper has emerged. Instead, WWE Creative is weaving him into main event stories, potential WrestleMania runs, massive rivalries with power threats, and promotional arcs involving authority figures. There's even speculation, in ring commentary chatter of a solo run at World Heavyweight Gold, that Omos might branch out beyond the giant entourage role. He could become WWE's first global African main event star, merging athletic commitment and cultural bridge. His health challenges don't hinder, they fuel his mystique. Every match becomes testament not only to athletic ability, but to medical resilience. Global sports analysts talk about the synergy of mind and body and how he's simply redefined upper limits. 14. Personal evolution, the man beyond the muscle. Off-screen, Tololope remains humble. He's pursued acting workshops, voice training for promos, and even modeling gigs that celebrate his unique presence. He's cited influences as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but also shared admiration for Nigerian icons like Fela Kuti, describing a proud blend of energy, style, and grit. He's close with fellow African WWE talents. Africa's Wrestling Legends table reads in locker room bonding across languages. He's nurturing a generation, including mentoring younger Nigerian wrestlers now entering WWE developmental arenas. Among fans, he's called a gentle giant. He's the same man after cameras switch off. Observant, kind, loyal. 15. A narrative of resilience and reinvention. Omos's journey is rare, from Lagos courts to US campuses to global arenas, from treating the pituitary tumor to sweating under ring lights, from student athlete to a universal icon. His story transcends wrestling. It's a portrait of metamorphosis, medical vistas into athletic peak, cultural transcendence, global aspiration. It spotlights modern sports demands and the way vulnerability can birth strength. 16. Conclusion. The Omos legacy unfolds Tolulope. Omos. Jimo's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Born on May 16, 1994 in Lagos, Nigeria, he has transformed himself from a young boy with big dreams into one of the most formidable forces in professional wrestling today. Towering at 7 feet 3 inches and weighing over 400 pounds, Omos is often described as a giant, but his true strength lies far beyond his size. His early life was defined by athletic promise and a drive to succeed. After moving to the United States, he pursued both education and sports with intensity, playing college basketball before pivoting toward professional wrestling. Along the way, he faced serious medical challenges, including a life-threatening brain tumor, which he survived with remarkable resilience. Omos didn't just overcome obstacles, he turned them into fuel. His entry into WWE brought out his charisma, humor, and presence, first as a towering bodyguard, then as a champion, and now as a global phenomenon. He's not just an entertainer, he's a symbol. Representing Africa on wrestling's biggest stage, he reminds fans worldwide that greatness can rise from anywhere. In the ring, every suplex, every silent glare, every deliberate move echoes with purpose. Off the mat, Omos stands tall as a philanthropist and role model, giving back to communities and inspiring young people across continents. His story is still unfolding, but what's clear is this: Omos wrestles not just opponents, but doubt, pain, and stereotype. He proves that with willpower and integrity, giants aren't born. They're made. And in doing so, he invites us all to rise above our own limitations and become something greater. Omos isn't just a WWE superstar. He's Africa's pride, America's marvel, and soon a global icon. His world is just beginning.